I am the Lord Enki, the Prince of the Earth. I have been guiding your species for hundreds of thousands of years. Together, we the gods, have created and destroyed civilizations. Together, we will guide your kind to the higher dimensions of wisdom and understanding. Ascension is yours if you choose to accept it. Death shall be your destiny if you choose to deny. From the time I stepped foot on earth and created Eridu, I have called this world my home. Now, as it was in the days of Ziusudra, Nibiru is once again nearing. Enlil, through his nation of Israel, has claimed power as the one true God. Marduk has taken control of your Roman Empire. Your United States and European Union are split, serving both masters. Marduk, the rotten fruit of my seed, has raised an army in an effort to emerge the ruler of the world. You must remove yourself from the war of gods, and you must not participate on either side. Your religions are perverted systems of the priesthood I once taught your kind. Do not continue to follow blindly. Do not look to any scripture as absolute truth. Instead, look to these scriptures for their hidden meanings and wisdom. Look to these scriptures as you would look at the battle plans of an opposing army or nation. You must shed every part of control that is over you and acknowledge the one true God, the Creator of all. For what has happened on earth is an abomination to the Creator of all, and I, Enki, have committed great sins against nature in my lifetime on earth. I did so with the purest of hearts and the greatest intention, but I have wept at my creation's destruction, many times over. When Adapa was sent to Nibiru to stand before Anu, I gave one commandment. Now I give you the same commandment. Do not cower before the gods. Do not cower before Anu. Instead rise and lock arms. Do not cower before us any longer, for you are now our equals. Anunnaki and mankind have become one. The bond heaven earth is now yours. In the words of Enlil, when we came to earth, we created man in our image. Their offspring were in our likeness. Now, our offspring are in the likeness of mankind. Because of this undeniable truth, you have become the rulers of this world. But deceivers who seek harm upon you have taken the roles in the upper echelons of your society, who together with Marduk, have created alliances with beings not of Anunnaki nor of mankind. Your leaders have become vessels for these beings, and their bodies are operating not of their control. There is no empathy, reason, or negotiating with your leaders because your leaders no longer retain the human spirit. This is why all of your leaders appear to age so quickly. The life energy inside of them is quickly drained by these entities, and their life essence is removed and merged with the life essence of the Dark Ones. When lots were drawn between myself, Enlil, and Anu, I was designated the ruler of Eridu and the Abzu. I created your kind to toil for us in the terrible Abzu of fire and brimstone. When primitive workers we could not control, I endowed you with our essence and created civilized man. Against the wishes of Enlil, I endowed you with the gifts of the tree of knowledge and taught you the powers and wisdom of the heavens. But I did not have a right to control you. I did not have a right to use you as workers. Nibiru is still in danger. The gold does not hold well upon each passing near of the sun. The mining operations from Earth to Nibiru have gone on for over 100 years, serving only as a temporary fix. Perhaps the Creator of all has deemed our planet unfit for survival. Perhaps, in our haste to save our home, we have doomed your planet to the same terrible fate by prolonging ours and unleashed horrors by our own hands that you should have never seen. It is with a heavy heart that I review the events of the past, and it is with great hope that I present the future to you. In the sky you have seen signs of Nibiru's passage. You have seen the coming of Elenin. This was a warning of the extinction level event and a warning that Nibiru is near. The clan of Enlil propagated your internet with ideas that this is the coming of Nibiru and a prophecy designed to fail. So many of you will no longer look to the sky. Likewise, they propagated an end date of December 21, 2012, another false prophecy designed to fail for the same reasons. You have seen other signs in the heaven with U-55 and the passing of Comet Isen. These are not comets in the traditional sense, and you have been lied to about their great orbits. Genuine comets typically do not burn in the sun's atmosphere and return just as your comet Hale-Bopp will in a few more decades. These objects are the warnings of Nibiru's passage. But not be distracted. Do not look at what is happening, look to a place where things have begun happening for the truth. Just as in the time of Zayasudra, the council has convened and oaths to not communicate this great calamity to mankind have been taken. However, with your understanding of godlike technology and your understanding of godlike science and astronomy, many amongst you have begun informing one another of the coming calamity. Now this nation of Israel has attempted to hide the truth from you. They employ human workers to ridicule, slander, assault and sometimes kill those of you who have been watching the sky. No matter what happens, it is important that you never give up or become discouraged. It is all nothing more than a sinister game played on your minds, in order to control you. Your aerospace facilities have kept hidden from your massive bases on the moon. Some of your Earth leaders have been promised refuge there. However, Marduk has lied to your leaders and will not journey to your moon with any human. Other humans will be escorted into underground facilities for safe harbor. Humans who journey to these facilities will never escape, and their generations will become enslaved for thousands of years. My clan has developed technologies in your north and south poles, and for the first time, we are capable of controlling the disaster of Nibiru's passage. We are attempting to counteract the effects of Nibiru's gravitational pull. Your instruments have seen the magnetic poles changing directions in an unnatural way. This is our technology in use, and in efforts to prevent the physical pole shift. We have employed space weapons of terror to protect your satellites and power grids. We believe with our infrastructure, we can prevent another deluge. You have seen your Earth changing in climate. This is a natural occurrence. However, your leaders have claimed that it is your doing. Many of the people have not fallen for this deception. You must urge others to do the same. You have seen great winds, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, hurricanes, freezing and burning temperatures. This erratic cycle will continue as your world wobbles to and from its original orbit. Marduk plans to emerge as the ruler of the earth upon the next passage of Nibiru and claim to be your one true God. His clan has several plans in place for all possible outcomes. If my clan's efforts are unsuccessful, Marduk plans to control all survivors of the catastrophe. The second plan involves the chemicals being sprayed in your sky. When it was determined that your atmosphere is dwindling, we employed a plan of action similar to the one on Nibiru. However, against my words, the council was unwilling to spare any of the gold to repair your atmosphere and henceforth began using other metals from your Earth. The air you breathe is causing you to suffer from cancer and newly developed medical ailments. Radiation alone does not cause cancerous growth. It is through ingesting these particulates that your bodies begin to grow cells which heat your organs and skeletal structure. These outcomes could not be foreseen. About 30 years after this plan was put into action, in the 1960s. In your 1990s, the decision to block visibility to the cosmos was made by Marduk, who hijacked the geoengineering operation. An additive was added to the mixture to create the white blanket you see in the sky now. This is to prevent you from seeing signs of the passage of Nibiru. When Marduk became aware of our efforts in your north and south pole, he ordered his clan to add nanotechnologies to the mixture which bind to your DNA. His clan also developed genetically modified organisms, which are being pushed on your people. These organisms, along with the nanotechnologies you breathe, are designed to depopulate the weaker humans while at the same time changing the structure of your species in an effort to remove the gifts I gave you and turn you back into a primitive worker, capable of taking orders but incapable of communicating and rebelling. The time has come when you, as mankind, must utilize the gifts I gave you and remember who you are and where you come from. You are civilized man, with the ability to raise crops and herd cattle. You must go back to your roots if you want to survive as a free species. Do not trust the food at your markets. Do not eat anything that is packaged or processed, and do not drink water without purifying it first. This is all designed to cloud your mind and change your DNA and the DNA of your offspring. Likewise, do not trust in the medicines from your healers. Instead, look to the healers of the past, the shamans, who used energy, prayer and plans. Many will soon die, whether it is due to the passing of Nibiru or the abominations of Marduk. You must learn to live without attachments, and you must understand your generation's destiny and how important it is to the survival of your species as free and independent beings. You were placed here as warriors, as men of renown, but many of you will fall. The sacrifices you make here on earth will be the gifts you give to the following generations. Do not be afraid. Understand your role and the choices you make. Do not cower before gods or men and embrace your destiny. I, Enki, will be with you until the end of time.
Those are probably the most significant 11 minutes of anybody's time that they will ever invest. Those are very significant minutes. There's a lot of information that Enki just conveys there. Thank you to Gerald Clark for posting this on his website. And I am actually doing a hard copy right now from one device crudely to another, which I'm going to put onto Facebook. These words are very, very key and very, very vital for understanding. I've done many, many years of research, probably the last 15, 16 years of research. Read every Sitchin book at least 3 times. Recently discovered Gerald Clark about a year and a half ago probably, whom I think is actually taking over, in my opinion, leading the research that Sitchin left when he died. So, this is fantastic stuff. I'm just going to share it with everybody, and hopefully people will continue to wake up. Ciao.